my fam. It's a new week and you are in for quite a show today. Supersized. Oh my God, so much to talk about. Hello, my fam. Again, welcome. I am Perez Hilton, the queen of all media, that dude, the original influencer, and I am live here on YouTube every weekday at this same time, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, 4:15 Pacific. If you can, like Dawn, please consider becoming a member of my channel. Becoming a member like Max and Dr. A and Kristen is a meaningful way of supporting. Not only do you support, you also get a little badge like Kyle and Munchie, and you get to chat live with me during all of my Hot Topics shows. So I am going to switch this. Did I just have food come out of my mouth? I'm going to switch this to member only mode. There we go. In 3, 2, 1. Everybody can stay watching and everybody can comment as soon as the live stream, the Hot Topics show premiere is over. Okay? So, I actually have multiple Blake Lively stories to talk about today. I'm going to space them out so that you stay watching. A little Blake Lively at top, and then more Blake Lively down in the bottom part of the show. Welcome, Akatsuki. So happy to have you here. We have so much to talk about. Holy heck. But first, let's start off with some wedding news. Charlie XCX got married again over the weekend. Thank you, Becky. Oh my God, yes. I have new merch that just dropped today. And I'm going to be adding to this over the next 24 hours even. Don't say what it is. I don't like spoilers. But if you want to check out my new merch, you can go visit buypopstuff.com. That's buypopstuff.com. Buypopstuff.com. And make sure to scroll through all the pages. I've got a new collection that I think you all will love. Okay. Congratulations to Charlie XCX. I spent way too much time today looking at photos and videos of her bigger wedding to George. He is from the 1975, that band. They already had a small courtside? No. Courtside? They got married at the court in London, and some friends and family were there, but not many. What's that called? Courtside? No. Courtside is like basketball or something like that. Anyways, they had a much larger wedding celebration for their friends and family. I think it was, I don't know if it was in Italy or Greece. Let me see if I can find out. Where did she get married? Sicily. Super cute. Troye Sivan was there, a lot of gays. Courthouse wedding. Okay, yeah, not courtside, courthouse wedding. That makes sense. And I loved it. Like, Charlie took a dip in the ocean after she got married. George DJ'd his own wedding. They played I Don't Care, I Love It. Also, Matty Healy from the 1975 DJ'd and performed and crowd surfed. I literally watched everybody's videos and photos, looked at them that attended the wedding. A lot of models were there. Oh, good. I got to move this. My OCD. I noticed this was out of place. My dad's photo. I don't know why this is like that. There we go. Much better. There we go. Aww. A little altar. Speaking of weddings, oh my God, the sweetest thing happened. Camila Cabello was at this hotel. Jesus. Camila Cabello was at this hotel and ran into a fan. And the fan talked to Camila, and it must have been like a real big fan because this girl somehow convinced, or Camila just decided to perform at her wedding the next day. That's the coolest thing. Not one of her hits, though. That would have been extra cool. Camila performed this song that she wrote about her father. Very sweet, but appropriate for a father-daughter dance at a wedding. And I just love that. She met up with a fan, and then the next day performed at the fan's wedding. Randomly ran into that girl at a hotel. That's cool. That's very cool. Also, oh my God, I almost put this in the headline. This might be a hot take, but this worries me for a few reasons. It was just announced today that Zayn Malik is going to be doing a Vegas residency in a large venue. He's playing at the Dolby Live at the Park MGM. I think that's about 3,000, 4,000 seats. Let's see. How many people, what's the capacity of Dolby Live Las Vegas? Holy hell! It's huge! 64, no. Okay, that's wrong. Okay, 5,200. 5,200. He's doing 7 shows there. That's basically that's like 3 or 4 nights at the T-Mobile Arena. Correct, Jamie. I was under the impression that Zayn Malik had performance anxiety issues too. But the bigger question is there demand for 7 nights with Zayn Malik in Las Vegas? There might be new music, Melissa. I'm not sure. The shows are going to be in January. So it's possible that he'll release new music between now and January. But do people even want new music from Zayn Malik? Do people care about new? I mean, Harry Styles could do the Sphere, all right? Harry Styles would do very well at the Sphere. Zayn Malik, I'm not sure. 5,200 per show, 7 shows. That's almost 40,000 tickets. Not really, but 36,000, 37,000. That's a lot of tickets. Mazel, obviously the concert promoters think it'll sell. That's why they did that many shows. All right. Donald Trump announced earlier today, without real scientific proof, he announced that taking Tylenol while pregnant may contribute to autism. I am reporting this. I'm not saying I believe this. I'm not giving anybody medical advice. I'm just sharing what the president said at a news conference today. Understandably, a lot of people feel very strongly about this. From what I've seen, medical studies have been inconclusive about a link between Tylenol use and pregnancy. But you know what's crazy? If it's not real, if it's not true, like Tylenol is about to take a major hit. Like that company is going to suffer big time. Becky, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a theory that was first mentioned recently, but it's been going around for a while. But RFK Jr. I mean, if there's one thing about Donald Trump, though, it's like I would expect all of this. He delivered on what he said he would do. More craziness. All right, let's keep it moving, shall we? We need a palate cleanse after that. The first Star Wars film in a while is being released next year, and the first trailer dropped. And this will be a very interesting experiment. The film is The Mandalorian and Grogu. It comes out in May. When was the last Star Wars movie? That I want to know. When was what was the last Star Wars film released? May of 26 is the next one. The last Star Wars was, oh my God, that's crazy. December 2019. That's a big break. Yeah, December 2019. But isn't it a little bit odd that the next film is based on a TV show? The Mandalorian had a TV show. It'll be interesting to see how it performs. I never watched The Mandalorian. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to watch this movie. I like I like Star Wars, but I'm not a fan of having to know too much backstory. You know what I mean? Like, I like self-contained movies. That's why I started to sour on Marvel. Like, oh, I didn't watch that superhero movie, and to understand the next one, I had to have watched the other one. Blah blah blah. It's crazy. Am I going to be watching Kimmel tomorrow night? No, but I'll keep an eye out for the monologue on my social media. But you know what? Hopefully people will tune in. You know, maybe perhaps this could be one of those moments of life giving you lemons and you making lemonade. And maybe all this drama will be good for Jimmy Kimmel. Maybe it'll help with ratings and with social media engagement, and it'll stay improved for a while. So, anyways, the trailer for that new Star Wars movie dropped, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Check it out. All right. Our first Blake Lively story of the day. Another one is coming up later. First, hilarious. Blake Lively, over the weekend, decided to commemorate the 18th anniversary of Gossip Girl by sharing, I'm not friends with Jimmy Kimmel, but I wish him well. Over the weekend, Blake Lively celebrated the 18th anniversary of Gossip Girl by posting a slideshow of throwback photos. And of course, I didn't host for Jimmy Kimmel. What are you talking about? I wish. Oh my God. What's ironic about Blake Lively posting all these Gossip Girl throwback pictures is that most of her Gossip Girl co-stars don't follow her on IG, where she posted it. Additionally, rumor has it that her former Gossip Girl co-stars don't like her. There was a lot of drama and tension on the set, as well as after filming ended. In fact, I know that does Leighton Meester have a podcast? I know that Penn Badgley has a podcast. Wait, does Leighton Meester have a podcast? Let me see. Leighton Meester podcast. No, she does not, sadly. But Penn Badgley had a podcast, or still does. Penn Badgley. But that's not weird that he didn't have her on, because he dated her. Remember that? Pod crushed. I think he still has it. Does anybody listen to or watch his podcast? Is it any good? Everybody has a podcast these days. But smart, make that money. Oh, shoot. That's the thing about podcasts. Like, you have to really build a loyal following, or else you're not going to get ratings. Like, I'm looking at his YouTube page, and a podcast that he released 2 weeks ago gets 2,000 views. Anyways, Blake Lively was not on his podcast, but I think most of the other Gossip Girl stars were. Also, I'm peppering everything throughout here. The View finally talked about Jimmy Kimmel this morning. Let's see what they said. The View, Jimmy Kimmel. It's odd because, remember, hey, Anna Marie, ABC took Jimmy off the air last Wednesday. And on Thursday's show, The View did not talk about it, and neither did they talk about it on Friday's show also. But Friday's show tapes a day in advance. They could have talked about it on Thursday. Whoopi said today, before news broke about Kimmel returning tomorrow, she said, "Did you all really think we weren't going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel? I mean, have you watched the show over the last 29 seasons? No one silences us." When the news broke last week about Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, Whoopi continued, "We took a breath to see if Jimmy was going to say anything about it first. We did the same thing with Stephen Colbert. To be clear, you can not like a show and it can go off the air. Someone can say something they shouldn't and get taken off the air. But the government cannot apply pressure to force someone to be silenced. And you may be surprised to see who agrees with us at this table because it blew us away. That was followed by sound bites from Republican Senators Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, both of whom suggested that FCC Chairman Brendan Carr's commentary is inappropriate. Then they showed a clip of Donald Trump suggesting that it is up to Brendan Carr to decide which network licenses are revoked. Remember, we even spoke, I think I mentioned last week that Brendan Carr talked about possibly investigating The View. I don't watch any television, Southern Sin. I don't have time, but I like The View. I don't really like this current lineup, though. I miss Meghan McCain. She was good. However, Whoopi responded to Donald Trump saying, "It's not up to Brendan Carr. I don't understand how you are the man in charge of the nation, and you still don't understand how the First Amendment works. I don't understand," then Ana Navarro interjected, "I don't understand how in this country, where the First Amendment was made to the Constitution to guarantee freedom of the press and freedom of speech, how the government itself is using its weight and power to bully and scare people into silence." Added Alyssa Farah Griffin, "The First Amendment is the first for a reason, because you need to be able to hold those in power accountable." All right. So they finally spoke out, and the White House has also spoken out. The White House is slamming The View and its hosts once again after they discussed the Jimmy Kimmel drama today. When reached for comment, Stephen Cheng, the White House communications director, exclusively tells Entertainment Weekly that he considers Kimmel to be a no-talent loser and The View hosts to be a collection of irrelevant has-beens and never-beens alike. Quote, "Jimmy Kimmel is a no-talent loser." Miss Nina, bless you. Thank you, Miss Nina. "Jimmy Kimmel is a no-talent loser who has beclowned himself with tanking ratings and by spewing disgusting lies to his audience. That's why the network kicked him to the curb like a used empty beer can." Similarly, The View is also devoid of actual talent and is a collection of irrelevant has-beens and never-beens that nobody with any common sense would ever watch unless it was to laugh at them. Crazy. All right. Let's keep it moving, keep it loose, keep it cute. The Chiefs won their game yesterday. That's a really good thing because they were down 0-2. But Taylor Swift was not there, apparently because of security concerns. Was the game not at the Chiefs stadium? Welcome, Minga. It was not, it was an away game? Okay. Oh, it was in New York. All right. Okay. But I do think she might have gone, but she's been dealing with a lot of drama recently. In fact, Taylor Swift just got a new restraining order against a man she says routinely shows up at her Los Angeles home and claims she had his baby. According to court documents submitted today, a 45-year-old man named Brian Jason Wagner has been ordered to stay at least 100 yards away from her for the next 5 years. He must also stay clear of her LA home, vehicle, and place of work, according to the documents. Furthermore, the judge barred him from contacting Swift during this time, including in person, by letter, or digitally. He's also been banned from owning firearms, ammunition, and body armor during this time, and must surrender any he does have to police. Clearly, this guy is not all there, though, so... Yeah, crazy. Yeah, apparently this guy has gone missing. Well, this is good news for her, though. Keep him away. Keep him away. He can no longer do any of these things. All right. I'm sure a lot of you heard that very sad story about that influencer, Emily Kaiser, whose young baby boy, Trig, I think he was just 3 years old or 2, very young, drowned over the summer. She finally returned to social media and what am I going to say? I can't say anything. You have to keep living when you have other children. Okay, that took a dark turn. Let's keep it moving, but oh God, this is just, I promise I'll pick it up right after this. This is also, I am not a conspiracy theorist. You know this. However, I hope my brain, which is racing, is wrong about this. Many of you are around my age, or you might be younger or older, but I think a lot of you know James Van Der Beek. He first burst onto the scene a long time ago now on that show Dawson's Creek. Unfortunately, James Van Der Beek revealed, I think it was earlier this year or sometime last year, that he has colorectal cancer. Stage 3 colorectal cancer, which means it's not spread, but it's advanced, meaning they did not catch it early on. Yes, Dawson himself, Don. Well, tonight in New York City, there is a fundraiser for James Van Der Beek. I talked about this, remember, on one of my daily shows, and I said that Paula Cole needs to come out and sing, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I want to know right now, will it be? The entire original cast of Dawson's Creek is getting together, and they were going to read the pilot, including James Van Der Beek, but he just canceled. He said on his social media, This is the evening I'd been most looking forward to since my angel, Michelle Williams, said she was putting it together way back in January. So you can imagine how gutted I was when two stomach viruses conspired to knock me out of commission and keep me grounded at the worst possible moment. Despite every effort, I won't get to be there. I won't get to stand on that stage and thank every soul in the theater for showing up for me and against cancer when I needed it most. I hope I'm wrong, but part of me thinks he might be lying and that it might be more than just a stomach virus. He might be close. I don't even want to say it. I just think he might be a lot worse off than he has stage 3 colorectal cancer. And if he is close, if he is really unwell, I don't think he needs to tell people that. I hope I hope it's just 2 stomach viruses. What's wild is that like a month ago or 2 months ago, not that long ago, I saw James Van Der Beek giving an interview and he looked relatively healthy as you could imagine for somebody battling stage 3 cancer. I hope you're right, Don David. However, I wouldn't call it a silver lining, but James Van Der Beek did have an understudy who's going to go on for him tonight, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Pretty cool. And James Van Der Beek's wife and his children did fly from where he lives in Austin to New York City to be there this evening. And how sad that the healthcare system in the United States is so broken that this man, who is not broke, I would imagine, needs extra money to pay for all of his medical expenses. All right, let's move it. Let's lighten it up, okay? Usually, I don't know about you, but oftentimes when I see celebrities boasting about how much money they have, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. But not when Perez Hilton does it. I expect her to do that. I don't know if you guys caught this, but over the weekend, Perez Hilton had a housewarming party for her new mansion that has a name, Slivington Manor. And it was basically like Coachella. She had carnival rides. It was like a festival. She built a club in her house. Avril Lavigne was singing. She had smoke and lights and bonkers. And happy for her. Good, great. Be rich. Thin, rich, famous. There's a song there. What's that song? I'm beautiful, damn it. That's a Bette Midler song. She is very extra, Jamie. And 44 years old. She's all those things and 44. I would not say 44 is young. 44 is middle age. We're not young anymore. All right, in other news, Cardi B, and we'll get to Blake Lively again in a bit. I love this. I love that I peppered the show with lots of different things today in various points. Stay tuned if you want some more Blake Lively drama. But first, the Cardi B Escándalo. I keep listening to that one song of hers that I am obsessed with from her new album, Bodega Baddie. However, the song is 1 minute and 44 seconds long. Back in the day, you know, the 90s and the early 2000s when I was young, if a song was 1 minute and 44 seconds long, we would call that an interlude. That's not a song, that's an interlude. A song should be at least 2 minutes long. 1 minute and I'm like, did they just get tired while they were making it? Like, let's finish the damn song. Especially when it's my favorite song on the album. Like, give me a bridge, give me like have like a guest vocal. Like, I don't know, but 1 minute and 44 seconds. It's a great song though. That's why I need her to finish the damn song. That song will go to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 if she finishes the song. And actually, this is a great little chitty chat because I'm curious what you all think. One of my besties and I love to talk about music and the charts, and you may not care about numbers, but I care about numbers. My friend thinks that Cardi's new album, which is expected to debut at #1 on the Billboard album chart, moving between 125,000 to 150,000 units, my bestie thinks that that's underperforming, that that's a disappointment. But I disagree. I think that that's a very solid first week for Cardi, especially because she took, over 7 years since her debut album? That's a long break in between albums, over 7 years. And also, Invasion of Privacy had at least one, but I think 2 big hits before the album came out. Bodak Yellow went #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And I think I like that. Yeah, baby, I like it. That one, with freaking God, he blew up since then. That song had Benito, Bad Bunny on it, when not many people knew Bad Bunny. I think that came out before that album. So that album did very well, more than double what this one did, okay? Like I said, the new Cardi B album, Am I the Drama, is expected to debut at about 125,000 units, but the last one debuted at 255,000 units. That just goes to show the power of a hit or multiple hits. Not everybody is Taylor Swift, meaning it'll be a hit even without a single. Cardi released music before this album that did not do well. So anyways, I think that's a good debut. And Cardi is involved in some new baby mama drama. But not her own baby mama drama. Other baby mamas. Many other baby mamas. According to reports, Cardi B's baby daddy, she's having a child, her 4th, and first with NFL player Stefon Diggs. He is facing a paternity suit over a 5-month-old baby. But not only that, las malas lenguas, the vicious tongues, word on the street has it that Stefon Diggs, Cardi B's next baby daddy, in the last year or 2, has fathered multiple children. Oops. Okay. That's just crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. I take being a dad so seriously. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's hear now some surprising news. We talked about how Cardi B's album is expected to do on the Billboard chart. Over the weekend, Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell's new movie bombed at the box office. Bombed. A big, bold, beautiful journey made $3.5 million at the box office. Ouch. And those are two big stars, Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. And they did a lot of press. $3.5 million at the box office. But what's even crazier is the movie that was number one, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle. Some anime movie. Cool. I've never seen a single anime movie in my life. Not my thing. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, Taylor Swift wants you to hear this very important message. Let me make sure the volume's on.
So the photo shoot that we did with Merton Marcus was so extraordinary, and I was so happy with it that I just wanted the fans to have as many images from this sort of world, this album era, as possible. And so I really spent a lot of time figuring out how I could make the best vinyl product and the best packaging and the best CD experience that they could have. And so we've got the CDs all have photo cards in them. The vinyls, they each have a poem inside of them, a unique poem.
Okay, I heard enough. Okay. In more music related news, oh my God, did you guys see any of the videos from this weekend when Pink performed with her daughter at Hugh Jackman's concert in New York City? How sweet. They did a couple of songs with Hugh Jackman, including a song from The Greatest Showman and also a song of Pink's, Who Knew? Who Knew? I think that song. Who Knew? But Hugh Jackman broke some news. You guys, how wild. Pink and her family moved from Santa Ynez, California, wine country. Not even Los Angeles. They lived like on a vineyard. I was gonna say a wine farm. That would be the silliest, a wine farm. Clearly, I haven't been to a vineyard in a while. A vineyard is a wine farm, right? Pink and her family made wine. They sold it. They still sell it. Singer Pink wine. Two Wolves. Her winery is called Two Wolves. Yes. There we go. She's a winemaker. Two Wolves Wine. So she lived in Santa Ynez for a long time, for close to a decade, I think, and has just moved her entire family to New York City. How cool. She moved her family to New York City because her daughter, Willow, who is 14 years old, is passionate about Broadway. And Hugh Jackman told the audience that she just started as a freshman at the Performing Arts High School in New York City. Willow. I like that. I like that because clearly the girl's passionate about it. And also, it's different. It's like, I don't want to be a pop star like my mom. I want to be in musicals. And that kind of lowers the expectations. Like, you know, you don't have to be having hits to be a working musical theater actress. Willow Hart. It is a beautiful name, Mary. And how lucky, God, man, if I had as much money as Pink, I would move regularly also. Like, I don't know. What a gift to be able to, okay, kids, we're going to live in New York for 3 years now. And then we're going to go to London for 3 years or 2 years or whatever. And then we're going to go to Miami or whatnot. But I love that. Also, Pink is from Philadelphia. She's an East Coast girl. So now she's closer to her family. Does she have siblings? Alicia, I know her dad died, right? Oh, Alicia Moore. Siblings? Yes, she's got a brother. She's got a brother, Jason Moore. Oh. I wonder where he lives. Jason Moore. Who knows? Who knew? All right, let's keep it moving. Speaking of singers, Harry Styles competed at the Berlin Marathon over the weekend. And normally I would not cover this, but this is pretty bonkers. Harry Styles ran a marathon's what, 27.1 miles? Harry Styles ran 27.1 miles in 2 hours and 59 minutes. 2 hours and 59 minutes. That means he had an average mile of 6 minutes and 50 seconds. What? An average mile of 6 minutes and 50 seconds for 27 miles? What? I can barely do a mile in 12 minutes. What? That's freaking crazy. That's like elite running. Kudos to you, Harry Styles. All right, y'all. Let me summons everybody. Come in 60 seconds. In 45 seconds, I'm about to start talking Blake Lively again, and this is juicy. Juicy, juicy. Hit that like button. Share this video. In 30 seconds, we're going to talk some more Blake Lively, and it is, I think, a big story. Blake Lively. 15 seconds. Come in. We're about to talk Blake Lively. Come here. I wonder if I mention her name enough times, it lets the algorithm know. In 3, 2, 1. All right, I made a video over the weekend about Blake. Welcome, Sonia. So happy to have you here. Okay, I made a video over the weekend about Blake Lively actually losing again after she lost to me in court. The judge denied her request to force this private investigators that were hired by Justin Baldoni's lawyer. She wanted them to give her information in a subpoena. And the judge said no. Well, I had a pretty crazy week last week cooking with Sonia. So this first bit flew under my radar. Initially, it's bonkers. Initially, on the 17th, Blake Lively sent a letter to Judge Lyman. Let me read you this and see if you guys catch what I'm gonna highlight. Okay, so this was before the judge ruled that sourced intelligence did not have to comply with her motion to compel. That was he ruled that on the 19th. On the 17th of September, Ezra Hudson said, "Dear Judge Lyman, the parties submit this joint letter pursuant to the court's September 15th order to address the court's prior orders issued in Lively versus the Skyline Agency. The Skyline and Wayfarer orders illuminate why sourced intelligence must be compelled to comply with Miss Lively's document subpoena. First, the orders leave no doubt that communications about a media campaign, as opposed to the underlying litigation itself, are not protected by the attorney-client privilege or the work product doctrine. Rather, those communications are only privileged and or protected if they are made for the purpose of obtaining legal advice. Moreover, the party claiming privilege or protection has the burden of proving it. Here, Miss Lively alleges that defendants Wayfarer Studios LLC and certain of its executives, affiliated entities, and public relations professionals engaged in a retaliatory online smear campaign that began during filming and promotion of the film It Ends With Us and continues to this day. Sourced intelligence markets itself as a company that specializes in reputation management and touts a comprehensive scope of identity management services." All right, pause. I said it. This woman, Blake Lively, is changing her story now. For months and months now, beginning last year, when Blake Lively filed her California Civil Rights Department complaint and then her lawsuit on December 31st of 2024, she claimed that the retaliatory smear campaign that she alleges happened. She said in her complaint and lawsuit, Blake Lively pinpointed August 2024 as the beginning of that smear campaign. Untraceable. Probably did not happen. Now, in September of 2025, Blake Lively says the Wayfarer parties engaged in a retaliatory online smear campaign that began during filming. What? Filming of It Ends With Us began in 2023. In the spring of 2023. How do you this late in the game change the narrative? that it began in August of 2024, but oh no, now you're alleging that the alleged smear campaign actually began in the spring of 2023, more than a year earlier? No, it doesn't work that way, Blake Lively. Insane. I mean, maybe she's got proof. Maybe Discovery turned up evidence that there was a smear campaign that began in the spring of 2023. But I don't know. I don't think so. I definitely think a settlement is going to happen, Melissa. And also, like, I don't know. Why did they bury this, right? Like, why have they not? I feel like if Discovery did prove that this alleged smear campaign began in the spring of 2023, and they said this in this court filing this month, why is her team not making a bigger deal of it? If it really was something unearthed during Discovery, they would be blowing that up, right? God, I want to go back. I miss New York City so much. Anyways, some good news. I made a video over the weekend about Taylor Swift, and a lot of Swifties got mad at me because I was underwhelmed by what Taylor is offering at her official release party for her new album. However, we're going to get at least one interview, I was informed. So that's a good thing. It's confirmed that Taylor is going to be on the Graham Norton show over in the UK. And that leads me to believe she'll probably do a show in the US also. I think perhaps Fallon, that seems like safe. They can just, make a cute little segment and then do a fun, safe interview. I'm for it. Also, recently, this is sad. Alabama Barker posted a video on social media that she deleted where she revealed that she was pregnant and lost the baby. Alabama Barker, Travis's daughter, is just 19 years old, and she was very sad about that. Sad. All right. Sending some positive vibes to Tom Holland. Spider-Man himself is not so invincible in the real world, in real life. Tom Holland got seriously injured on the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day on Friday and was rushed to the emergency room with a head injury. He suffered a mild concussion and as a precautionary measure is taking some days off from filming. But thankfully, we are told that it was a mild concussion. Scary. He better, I don't know. If it's not mild, you better be suing. Crazy. All right, let's lighten things up. Oh my God, so much show today. There was a lot that broke over the weekend. My podcast co-host went to the iHeart Music Festival because he works for iHeart and our podcast is on iHeart, and he was underwhelmed by Tate McRae. I love her. I love Tate McRae. I am not underwhelmed by her. Also, Jesus, there was so much new music that was released on Friday. That's true, Munchie. Oh, great. Anyways, we talked about that, right? Halsey. I knew there was one thing. Before I take questions, Halsey reveals that her label won't allow her to release a new album. And it's so wild that Halsey she feels like her pop star days are over. She literally says, I'm not a pop star anymore. It's so wild, like perception. Like Lorde has this perception of being cool, but does Halsey have a perception of being cool? I don't know. What's TBI, Gretel? Tuberculosis? Oh, traumatic brain injury. Oh my goodness. That's not tuberculosis. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. I'm so sorry to hear that. Why did I think tuberculosis? I think I have... My brain has been injured this year. You know, the brain is a muscle. If you overuse it, it like short circuits. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns, observations? Let's chitty chat for a few more. Any advice you all need? Any... Ooh. Oh. These are my car sunglasses. I had them on earlier. You know, sometimes it gets so bright, and this is good because it like protects from the brightness everywhere. Thank you, Gretel. I love my teeth. These are vintage. These glasses are so old. Anyways, check out my new merch, y'all. Buypopstuff.com. That's buypopstuff.com. Buypopstuff.com. Questions? If not, I will see you guys tomorrow at 7:15 p.m. Eastern, 4:15 Pacific, okay? If I could get a new car, what car would I get? I don't know. I would love... God, there used to be these... It'd have to be like a big car for, you know, my kids and I. Like this 80s looking car that I saw at a car show a few years ago. It was like, it looked like, it had like wood. It looked like wood paneling on the outside. It looked very foresty. I don't even know what it's called. Fudge. Let me see if I can. SUV wood paneling, old wood forest. Oh, yes, I think it's like a Jeep Wagoneer kind of thing. Are they making like a grand... Yes, I think they're making a new Grand Wagoneer. Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Oh no, but these look ugly. No, I want one that looks like vintage. Ew, these are ugly. You know which ones I'm talking about? They look kind of like this. I think they're making some that look like that. Like that would be cool. I'm so into it. I thought they were making new ones. Are they making new ones? I like the classic vibe of it. Now I'm stuck looking at cars. Hold on. Yeah, the new ones are so ugly. Maybe it was just like a Jeep Grand Wagoneer, new vintage. Yeah, the new one's kind of ugly. I'm not into it. Like, this is so basic. And it's not a cheap car, $84,000. Oh, well. Whatevs. All right, my friend. I will see you tomorrow. Are you going to change to help with your YouTube algorithm? What do you mean? What do you mean, am I going to change? Am I going to change what? My hair's driving me crazy. I think I need a haircut soon. All right, you guys. I've been talking for too long. I love you. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye. Be back at 7:15 p.m. Eastern, 4:15 Pacific. Oh, no, it doesn't, Becky. YouTube is all about vertical now. I've compared. I get way more views vertical than horizontal. YouTube is pushing this. So, yeah, this is what it is. All right, have a good night, everyone. Bye.